While the Democrat Party declares the Republican Party is in shambles, I would offer this up. The Republican Party in Washington may be in shambles, but around the country, we are more unified than ever before. The overwhelming majority of us support, of course, President Trump and his America First policies, as well as the drain the swamp mentality that he took to D.C. Our problem as conservative voters is that we are electing the wrong people. Maybe I should say re-electing the wrong people. The establishment go along to get along Republicans have a death grip on our party, okay? This program, with your help, is about loosening that death grip. It is because of shows like this one, and of course, viewers like you, Stinchfield's Army, right? That's what we like to call ourselves. It's because of you that Liz Cheney will most likely be ousted from her powerful position as the #3 Republican in Congress. I am told the votes are there to oust her as early as next Wednesday. That is due in large part because we are putting the pressure on all of us together, a unified front. We are far stronger than Republican congressional leadership. Our strength comes from our numbers. Don't ever forget that. And don't allow the swampy media to try to tear that apart either.
The party is probably going to say that they are more comfortable with upholding a lie that is a threat to the very tenets of democracy.
Took the Republican Party hostage, right, and they are choosing to stay there.
I don't understand it.
That the Trump agenda, that the Trump messaging, that the big lie is really not the long-term future of the Republican Party.
With a wellness check on the Republican Party, they're exiling one of their leaders because she refuses to go along with a deranged lie about the election.
All of what you just watched there is lies. Do you see what we are up against? But again, that's what this program is about, fighting back against those lies with truth. You see, the fight over who should serve as the party's #3 Congresswoman sounds like inside baseball, but it is a vitally important role when it comes to setting the Republican agenda, recruiting candidates, and even more importantly, pushing forward and communicating the Republican agenda, which really needs to be the America First agenda. So Liz Cheney is one of 10 Republicans, I know you know this, who voted to impeach President Trump. That is in total defiance of our party. But the reality is, Cheney is a swamp creature. She is lockstep with so many Republicans in positions of power, and now Democrats too, really. When the queen of the swamp defends you, that's when you know you have fallen in deep, even if she says your name wrong.
I do commend Lynn Cheney for her courage, for her patriotism.
Liz, not Lynn. Liz Cheney appears to be trying to destroy the Republican Party from within, burn it down. She wants to ruin anyone associated with President Trump. Just watch.
We will not forget what happened on January 6th, and that the single greatest threat to our republic is a president who would put his own self-interest above the Constitution.
If Donald Trump were the 2024 nominee, would you support him?
I would not. As the party, we need to be focused on the future. We need to be focused on embracing the Constitution, not embracing insurrection. We're not going to be divided, and that we're not going to be in a situation where people can pick off any member of leadership. President Trump claimed for months that the election was stolen, and then apparently set about to do everything he could to steal it himself.
So this is why she needs to go. She doesn't represent us. Come on. The sad reality is, though, unlike Democrats, Republicans elect their most liberal members in Congress to positions of power. We see them do this over and over again. John Boehner, Paul Ryan, and only now is Kevin McCarthy, the minority leader, finally showing some signs of coming on board with the America First agenda. But still, McCarthy is the quintessential Washington insider, right? Just look at who they are picking to replace Liz Cheney. New York's Elise Stefanik. She's been on this program. She's a nice woman. She vigorously defended President Trump. I'm grateful for her for that. But sadly, her strong pro-Trump words don't actually match her votes. You ready for this? She co-sponsored Dream Amnesty. She voted for big agriculture amnesty. She voted to terminate President Trump's declaration of a national emergency at the border. She was one of 11 Republicans who voted to override President Trump's funding of the border wall. It gets worse. She appears to support the radical transgender agenda with her vote for that Equality Act that only 8 Republicans voted for. She even voted for Climate Action Now. That's an act that would have forced President Trump to remain in the Paris Climate Accord. So she can say that she supports President Trump. What I worry about is that it's a masquerade. Legislatively, she did not really have his back. Her voting record proves it. And yet, this is who the congressional Republicans pick for the 3 spot. And I should note, President Trump has endorsed her too. Now, I wonder if he knew she has a lower than 50% conservative rating. The reality is we have a few strong conservative leaders in Congress right now. They come on this program. Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes, Debbie Lesko of Arizona, and there are plenty of others. But those 3 would be my top picks for the conference chair position. Jim Jordan has repeatedly said he doesn't want the job. But please, Jim, Devin, Debbie, we need you, and we need you now. So I would think that Jim Jordan or Devin Nunes could actually challenge McCarthy for the leadership spot if they wanted to in the future. And if that was to happen, it would be hard to do it while sitting at the leadership table, right? Maybe that's why they don't want a seat at the leadership table. Maybe that's why they're sitting on the sidelines right now.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.